So gross.
Chapped bits.
Gross.
Sick of chewing your chapped bits.
Oh.
Ugh, boy, it's like we got a lime scale.
What is this? Lip dandruff. Ew.
All right, upstairs seems clear then.
Where's our third? Who's on the staircase with me?
I'm on the
I'm on it.
staircase.
Okay. Who's on the ground? Oh, I assume you're on ground floor?
Is that right? Stay out there, line of fire, stay out line of fire.
The fuck?
Flash
That guy
if we
took
need
so
to.
many bullets. He's out the front here.
Should I flash?
Wait, is that who's that?
I'm
Chop?
behind you,
Is
I'm
that
behind
you?
you.
It's me, yeah.
So was I shooting at you?
I think you were shooting at me, yeah.
Can we,
Why didn't you say
didn't
anything?
confirm
I
anything.
thought you were a baddie.
Okay.
Okay, well let's move around.
shoot out, bro.
Nice.
We're on the ground floor together. Let's not shoot each other. My game crashed.
Oh no, Ross.
I'm calling the police.
Why could that have happened? Maybe you should stop mining fucking
Hello?
Bitcoin.
Is this the chief of police? My game crashed.
Oh god, he's actually.
I've got to reload it.
I want to speak to someone more senior.
I need to speak to somebody in the gaming department.
Who is in your
Don't have a
game
gaming
crime?
department.
It's a fucking Wild West.
What are my taxes going for? Bin men?
I won't be paying taxes from now on.
Unless there's a gaming head installed right this moment.
Shit.
I pay my taxes.
I probably put a target on my head there by saying I don't want to pay taxes anymore.
Oh, damn, they're gonna pin me as a racist.
Fuck us.
Classic tactic.
That's so them.
The police.
Please. Yeah. Please with no O. Please. Please.
Please don't do this to me.
Please. Please think twice.
Well met, Darwin.
met.
Well met.
Darwin.
Jeez, that was well met.
Well met.
Well met.
What are we robbing?
Well met, traveller. Well met.
Well met.
Well met.
Well met.
I have one of each as well.
Well met.
Well met.
Oh my god, well met.
Well met.
Oh, God.
Well met.
Traveller. Well met.
Well met. God damn.
Well met.
We could use there's a bridge though, look, to the north of the crescent.
Ah, well met.
Jesus
bridge.
fucking Christ.
Very well built.
And well met.
Well met indeed.
Well met and well built.
The fuck.
What's your deal, bro?
Well met. Well met.
I like his little cap. Well met.
Well met. Nice.
Gotta make it sound good. It's the epic ending, isn't it? You know.
You forgot this bit.
That does sound like it should. Do you want to do just one take of that underneath, like the whole lot?
Well, well. If it isn't a bunch
Oh.
of charities tuning in
Here
to
you
watch
are.
3 charities, just chat for an hour or so.
Is that Craig rushing up to re-jiggle the
Just
shot?
doing a slight
Because
shift.
of the way I'm sat.
This is like
There we
Jamiroquai,
go.
where the
Ooh.
ground moves but the walls don't.
Virtual insanity.
It's real. This is all
Jamiroquai, what a fucking reference. That is old school.
good, isn't it?
It shows our age, I think.
I saw a video of him recently where he
Yeah.
like, picked up a supercar or something.
He's always picking up. I always look at that and think, how the fuck has he made that much money?
Royalties, I guess.
But like, really, from like,
he might have invested.
I'm
his
only
money
really
well.
aware of a couple of songs he's made, and so like it's always shocking. Like, well, God, what the fuck has he done that he's able to buy £1 million supercars? And apparently, like, yeah, he's got like
So
good
Jamiroquai.
investments. Yeah,
So one of my family friends, their house got bought by JK from Jamiroquai.
oh, yeah.
And he's got like 5 houses in the immediate area as
Fucking
well.
hell.
He's insanely rich. There is definitely something going on.
He's
like,
just something else.
He's just
Gotta
obviously
be.
he's obviously
yeah,
invested in
well,
something well.
or they did huge amounts of tours during a period of time when touring
Yeah.
was incredibly lucrative. I think maybe that's
He
part
did
of it.
Deeper Underground, the Godzilla.
He
thing.
did, yeah, he did.
That was a huge film.
That was a
Huge. I mean, we're still feeling the impacts of that
Of
Godzilla
Jamiroquai,
film.
Yeah.
Even now, I remember going to the
Feeling
cinema to watch that film. I think we were about
From
16 when
Godzilla.
that film came out. They
I
did,
remember the merchandise is crazy.
yeah, there was loads of stuff around it. It was really interesting.
It's like the resurgence of Godzilla.
Maybe we were just at the perfect age to be perfectly targeted by all the things we did, but I think that
Maybe that's happening all the time to that generation, like that
Yeah.
age all the time.
they're the ones that they make all the stuff, Marvel stuff
Yeah.
for now, don't they? Not us anymore.
Yeah.
We're past that. We only get a season of Andor every so often.
I think it's one
Sage.
coming soon.
There is.
So
Andor.
prepare your butt. How are we sounding to the audience?
Does this all look good, feel good, sound good? Ultron,
Let me load
our
up
blessed
Twitch.
little computer, is on its last legs, trying to do this multi-stream crazy setup with virtual production,
Virtual insanity.
bit of crackling and cutting.
I'm not trying
Is
to.
that from? Can other people verify that?
Sounding is great. Are you saying that sounding is
You're
great?
just
or we're
enjoying
sounding
the
great?
sounding,
Or making the
process?
statement that
I love
sounding is
sounding.
great.
Let me listen to it back. It kind of sounds okay.
I think that might be their headphone jack.
Oh, it's a good point. Though. That was a little crackle.
That was
There.
a tiny one. It's probably the CPU. How's the task manager looking on that bad boy? That's another thing to run. Shit. Oh, fuck. Sorry if there's more crackle now. Okay. Well, sorry if it's not optimum right now. We haven't got a... That's really confusing.
That's what you sound like. It's pretty fucking boring, isn't it?
It is.
Do
Someone
you want
else
to jazz it up a bit?
No, not really.
Add a bit of jazz into that.
No, I haven't got the energy.
Jazz it. Jazz it up.
You just had a whole pint of coffee.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Doesn't touch me.
There's a lot in it.
Does not touch
Because
me.
there's too much milk in it.
I've been having double espressos with like barely any milk recently.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
I have to stop.
That's like in the room with us.
Did you hear that seagull?
That's a seagull. They're with us right now. I have about one coffee a day now.
Nice. That's
One
really
coffee.
good.
That was my one coffee. Although I do have 5 cups of tea a day.
Well, that's caffeine, isn't it? I mean,
It's just easier on my stomach, basically. It
Yeah.
just takes longer. It takes so long, and I piss so much.
I'm not surprised.
I piss so
That's
much.
a lot of tea.
For a while, I was drinking tea in those big hat films we had. I had to stop doing that because
much?
it was too much tea.
Caffeine is in a... Oh, let's just start a hat chat.
Let's start a hatchet.
Yeah.
We can talk about this.
Well,
stuff.
Talk
let's-
about
let's
caffeine.
kick
to
off
start
The news
caffeine.
stories are slim.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just talk about our boring lives.
Unless we want to really spend some time, let's just talk about America. We could spend all day talking about
please,
that.
no.
No,
But
thank
I
you.
very much tried to avoid that. So,
You just brought it up.
well, no, I mean, as in for hat chat topics. I'm just saying that otherwise it's quite slim.
Yeah.
It's normally just sensationalist heads,
Ozempic.
like crazy stuff. Sorry.
You see what Katie Price has done to herself? Speaking of slim,
What's she done this time?
she's been on Ozempic to the point of extreme dysmorphia.
God.
And
I
then,
don't know if this is true, but yeah, I believe it.
no, she does. Yeah, she got a fresh set of turkey teeth put in.
Those turkeys can't catch a break.
These poor turkeys. Let's kick things off. Just send us away, Craigle.
Send us
Cut
in.
us harshly
Let
away.
me start rolling. Hang on.
I'd love to see a catchphrase animation of turkey teeth. Where it is just a turkey
Yeah.
with huge teeth.
Turkey
It'd be like
teeth.
Wallace and
Turkey
Gromit.
teeth.
Like
Alright.
chicken run.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
And I'm rolling.
That's where they got it from. The inspirations. Actual turkey teeth. Oh, welcome, one and all, to the Hat Chat podcast with your trio of hosts. I'm Christopher Hodson Trott. That's my name now.
Hello, Christopher Hodson Trott.
Very formal, isn't it?
I'm Ross Hornby.
Not Hodson Hornby?
I don't add things to my names. I've got
much.
2 syllables already. I think that's enough.
I've got Christopher.
Yeah, you just no one calls you Christopher
Why not?
because we've always called you Trott.
Anyway,
and now you're
who's
adding
this
more
guy?
names.
My name's Alan J. Hoover Scott Smith.
Hooverstank.
Hoover Stank.
Stank.
No, Alex
That's a
Smith.
Throwback.
Although that really doesn't narrow it down, giving somebody my name.
Alan.
Alex Smith.
You look
Alex
Alex
Smith.
Smith. That's
Hold
easy.
on, let's stop
Alex
you at border control.
Smith.
Yeah, whoa.
You have a plain name.
I've just swam over here. No.
They'd frisk you, wouldn't they?
Probably
Especially, certain countries now.
certain countries. Well, they don't like the looks of Alex Smith's.
Alex Smith, they'd be like, oh, who's this guy? Alias.
Yeah.
Just like John
What
Smith
are you
over
covering
there.
for?
I
What's your
hate that
real
my
name?
name's John. John Smith. Don't name any children you have John. Because they're just going to have a terrible time.
What about William?
Is that the Pocahontas guy?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
John Smith is the Pocahontas guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad
Yeah.
guy.
Will Smith?
Will Smith.
You can call him Will.
What if I have a child and call it Jada Pinkett?
Then
What are the
I
chances?
think everyone you know is
Could
going to
happen.
judge you.
Jada Pinkett Smith, come over here.
It'd be really weird. Jada Pinkett Smith.
We were just talking about caffeine content.
Yeah.
prior
So
to this. I've got stats.
okay,
So
cool.
An average coffee cup is around 8 ounces in America, of course.
Fucking hell.
80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine
Right.
in a regular coffee.
Yeah.
And a tea, which is about 100 grams,
Yeah.
11. So
Oh,
it's
no,
like
it's not.
Significantly less.
It's not
significantly
bad.
less.
It's a
But
tenth.
you have 5 a day, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
Probably
that's
makes about 1 coffee.
Yeah. And then I have 1 coffee a day.
So you're having 2 coffees a day, basically, of caffeine.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
not even that, really, I suppose.
Not even that, really.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't worry about it. Don't lose any
So
sleep.
you could have
Although you
5
might
more,
because of
is
the
what
amount of
I'm saying.
caffeine.
Yeah, I could have more coffee. I think I would like to use coffee more often, but I
Use
have
it.
to stop myself because it gives me such bad indigestion.
It gives you indigestion.
Yeah, it makes my stomach all inflamed and like
Ooh.
makes me sad
What
inside.
doesn't about the modern diet, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like everything we eat is
Yeah.
like it's actually not that good for human consumption.
Pretty much.
All this shit they add in,
Yeah.
all these preservatives and whatnot.
I mean, coffee's fairly pure in that sense. Like, you know, okay, if you're putting loads of dairy milk, if you're putting fucking syrups in it, but like,
Cocktail of syrups,
yeah, but if you're just drinking like coffee with a bit of your milk choice, it's not that dirty when it comes to the modern world. But like, I think it's just the caffeine itself irritates the living shit out of your insides. Like it does. It makes you.
I like to roleplay an alchemist when I do my coffees.
Yeah, cool.
And I go to TK Maxx and buy all those sugar-free ones they have at the checkout. Have you seen those?
No.
They've all got these like
TK
random-
Maxx?
TK Maxx.
Right, okay, yeah.
And for some reason, they sell like tons and tons of different flavors, all different random brands, probably AI generated.
Flavors of
Of
what? Sorry.
Flavors of sugar-free syrups
Oh, right. Okay.
that go
Oh,
into your
right.
In
drinks.
TK
And
Maxx,
fuck
there's,
knows what's in
there's a
them.
place that
Yeah.
sells clothes.
Yeah, they also sell
less.
shelf-stable foods and syrups, yeah.
They do like household
That seems
bits
silly.
and bobs. as
Yeah, I
well.
know they do house some.
So that's where they are. But anyway, yeah, I have all of those behind me, and I'm doing like alchemical concoctions of all these different sugar-free aspartame,
It's nuts.
aspartame.
I
sorry.
found out that Huel has sweeteners in it that are considered quite bad for you.
Really.
What's considered quite bad for you then?
So there's a sweetener in it. Let me check. I think it's literally sucralose. It's basic. So there's a
There
really
you
good
go.
app. This is
the
not a
downfall
plug.
of Huel.
This is something I've been using. Basically, I had gastritis a couple of months ago, which is just inflammation of the
Shit.
stomach. It's sometimes caused by bacteria. It's sometimes caused by
We're never
bad
gonna get
eating.
the Huel brand deal we need.
I
That's the
haven't got the Huel
podcasting.
brand deal yet,
That's
but
gone. That's been a gone Yogscast.
oh
Had
yeah,
a big
remember
one.
that?
That was
Remember
early.
back in the old office when we used to get
Yeah.
shitloads of it for free. Anyway, I had to change my diet quite a lot, and Huel's one of the things I actually put into my diet because I was trying to find things that were like filling and healthy and stuff like that. Anyway, so it contains one and I use an app called Yuka, Yuka. And I make that sound a lot as well. But basically,
Plants.
you can scan any barcode. It's a bit like MyFitnessPal. Scan pretty much any barcode, and it gives you a breakdown of the nutritional positives and negatives of the food, like basically protein, fiber, energy, saturate, sugar, salts. And then it looks at the additives and tells you which ones are low-risk additives and which ones are high-risk additives. So the ready-to-drink banana-flavored Huel out of a bottle has sucralose in it, which is a sweetener which could be associated with the development of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, chronic inflammation in the digestive tract, which is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Additionally, high consumption of sweeteners could be associated with an increased risk of cancer. Finally, sweeteners are believed to have no positive effect on weight loss.
Well, they're not weight. Yeah. I
No.
mean, they do psychologically, but
Yeah.
as a replacement for.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure,
I don't think many people think they are. I think that
Would
they
you
just...
say that all the other goodness in there is worth that though?
Well,
or is it-
possibly.
obviously
Yeah,
not if it's-
exactly. Yeah.
If it's not irritating you.
Yeah, I think that's it. You got to weigh it up, and you are also getting. It's also this app considers everything else about the drink to be very, very good. It has good amounts of dietary fiber. It has very low saturated fat, very low salt, those kind of things. So yeah, there is also that for sure. But
how much caffeine's in a like a monster?
Oh fucking hell!
When you're
Monster's
thinking
terrible.
about, like
So apparently, a daily average intake should be around 400
average
maximum
as in
milligrams of caffeine.
yeah.
I'll save it to
Not-
Ross. And you
not-
can have a breakdown of like that. So that's how it looks.
Oh
so
shit!
that's
Okay, there's a Monster Energy drink here.
There's a really good YouTube short that I get shown
0
a lot,
out of 100.
which is a guy breaking down the powders. If he broke down the powdered elements of Monster and
Yeah.
put it into a drink.
Yeah.
54
There's a video
grams
of it,
sugar.
and he shows all the different things.
Just looks
and
like a chemistry set.
exactly, some of the stuff they put in it has some sense to it. Like some of these energy drinks do contain compounds that are shown to improve athletic performance.
Where do they get the juice of the monster, though?
Well, this is the thing.
Which
Where do they?
monster are they
Which
hunting?
monster is it? I
say
think
what
it's
caffeine's in
gelatinous goo.
This just kind of tells you how much
much
sugar's in it, which is
caffeine
54 grams,
is in a
which is
monster?
a lot. But then saying that, isn't a can of Coke
36.
also like
36 grams of caffeine.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Milligrams.
Milligrams. That's
In-
less per
in
100 mil.
One serving is 86.4. There you go.
yeah, right.
So
that's,
it is a coffee, basically.
It's basically
And
a
that's probably
big
per
old-
250 mil, not
big
per
old
500
chug
mil.
of
240 grams, which is, 500 mil. It's about 160 milligrams.
of caffeine. So it's like
Oh,
2
yeah, yeah, yeah.
coffees.
So the whole can is 160.
Yeah.
That's a big hit, isn't it?
I love it when they do the servings thing.
It's a big old
It's
hit.
like when you get a serving.
Yeah, a
suggestion
serving
for
of like sweets, and it's like 3. Like, how many mini eggs can you have in one serving? 3 or 4.
This is my daily
That's not
serving.
serving?
They know what they're doing.
You
These
bastards.
fucking food industry bastards.
Making
So,
them want more
Ross,
as well.
should we have a look at what's in Pepsi Max Zero?
Yeah, have a look at what's in
is
there.
it sucralose?
So,
No, it's
unfortunately,
aspartame, I think.
there are 4 high-risk additives, 1 moderate risk, 1 limited risk, and 2 risk-free.
Ooh.
So it contains sulfite ammonia caramel, possibly
What does
carcinogenic.
that
Sounds
do?
good,
Is that
doesn't
to make the flavouring?
Yes, and the color. It contains it's possibly carcinogenic, and it can create allergic reactions in some
What is it?
individuals.
You know what I mean?
Phosphoric
is it?
acid. This additive causes
Acids.
phosphorus, a mineral whose current intake exceeds recommendations, and whose
That's good for producing light, isn't it? Phosphorus.
yeah. If you burn, well, this is phosphoric acid, but yeah, if you could get phosphorus out of it, excess could disrupt bone mineralization, have a harmful effect on the kidneys, and increase risks of cardiovascular diseases. It's got asulfame K, increases your
That's
chances
one
of
of my favourites.
Sounds like
cardiovascular
a big one,
disease, type 2 diabetes, chronically inflammatory disorders. So there's a lot of garbage in these things.
How much
for
caffeine's in that bad boy?
Sure.
Doesn't tell you, does it? Someone doesn't seem to measure caffeine.
Doesn't really care about caffeine. No.
69.
No, thanks.
Milligrams.
69 milligrams per can, is it? Or like 330 mil. 12 ounces. Is that 330
That's a surprisingly
mil?
high
That
amount.
sounds like like a 500 mil.
That is a
What is
12-ounce serving.
Fuck ounces, man.
Fucking. This is what Google is now.
Fucking
Google
hate
is
ounces. I
AI
hate using
search
cups. I
results.
hate
Gulf
using
of
ounces.
America, ounces for drinks. It's
Just-
nonsense. This is all
500
nonsense.
mil. 500
2.5
mil.
cups.
500 mil has what?
30. That's a bottle. That's that bottle.
Okay.
Yeah. We know what a 500 mil is.
69
Yeah,
grams.
You don't need to
That is-
mime
that's
opening
quite
a
a lot
fucking
of,
bottle.
That is quite high caffeine, really.
69 milligrams of caffeine, right? So it's a weak
not gonna
coffee,
forget that, are you?
basically. It's a weak coffee.
Yeah, but it's surprising how much is in it.
It's pretty close to a coffee, basically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about
That's caffeine.
Good to know.
Coke
And we
Good to
drink
know.
differing amounts of it.
Zero caffeine free? Like, what's left?
Does caffeine not turn your guts to shit as well? Like,
Makes you want to have a
I
quick,
imagine
quick
it
poop.
does. It's
like
it's a good
landslide.
yeah. I have a good morning shit.
But I have that anyway, even though I'm drinking a can.
Like I feel my stomach bubbling after
Yeah,
coffee.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you not feel that?
That does sound
Are you having
worrying.
it before you eat? You have your coffee.
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
a
it's
bubbling
on an empty
Good
stomach.
lord.
It's the first thing I do. When
No
I
wonder
wake
you
up.
had fucking acid reflux issues. I mean, I know you have a medical reason for it as well, but fucking
that
hell.
doesn't seem
A
to touch
bubbling
it, which is
sensation never
great.
sounds good.
If I had a coffee on an empty stomach in the morning, I'd want to vomit. That's how much that would make my stomach go like, what the
Sounds like
fuck
how
is
Oh,
this?
really?
pussy you are.
I really am. I mean, I am a delicate
Coffee.
flower when it comes to digestion. That is for damn sure.
Coffee's not the first thing I have, yeah.
I have a tea. It's like a gentler. I heard a comedian describe it as waking up with a tea is like being gently roused, getting ready for the day. Waking up with a coffee is like having a prison guard wake you up. You know, the tea's
Sometimes that's what you need, though.
time to wake up. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's like, but every morning, first thing you have is a coffee. It's like somebody, get up, time to go. It's just like,
I normally pair it up with an hour-long walk, so
that's pretty good.
I pair it up with a little nap afterwards.
Oh my god.
you get
I get
really
tired
smashed up.
Sometimes,
on
yeah,
caffeine.
sometimes caffeine will knock
Then
me
you
out.
go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I get it the other way.
You can have like a caffeine crash, is it? Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even
definitely.
have the high bit. I just had a nice Horlicks. Basically, I'm ready for a nice
Yeah.
nap after my 8-hour sleep.
Oh, really? And you go back to sleep. Honestly, you go back to sleep after
No, I
it.
don't.
Because I have it sometimes in
nap.
the evening when I'll have a coffee and I'll want to fall asleep after it, which is a strange one.
It does seem odd. Like it's
called caffeine
Getting close
addiction.
to 10 p.m. You're in a restaurant. Like, what do you want a coffee? Then it's like, fucking hell. You're better than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
2.
Also, I'm so full with all the meal I've just eaten at that point.
Just fill
And
it,
on top of the tiramisu.
pour the coffee on top. Yeah.
Oh, tiramisu. I love that shit.
Sorry, because I always have bread, always have a starter, always have a main, and then dessert comes around.
Always.
And so
Like
dessert comes
clockwork.
around and coffee's come around at the end, and I'm like, I can't do it. I physically can't fit it in me. But I have no regrets because like bread, starter, and a main is for me the best part.
What
Like,
are you talking about?
like
Every day.
Ross said like if you go out for dinner and you
this
it's
is
like 10
restaurant,
p.m.
yeah.
This is restaurant eating 10 p.m. and they ask like, do you want coffee? And he's like, well, for some people like 10 p.m. coffee's like, no.
Well, you'd be refused in Italy for
Would
sure.
you?
Yeah.
You'd be refused in Italy.
Yeah. So I've been to Italy.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been to France, but
Not
I have
like you haven't been to
Italy.
France. Yeah.
But they are very draconian about their coffee.
You can't have it
times.
in the evening.
No, they literally scoff at you. It's like, why are you having coffee? That is like a morning/afternoon drink.
I
You
see.
do not have it in the evening.
Well, do you have
And they
booze
straight
in the
up
evening?
refused me.
Really?
I was like, no, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me. And they're like, what else do you want?
Wow.
Okay, fine.
Like advising
It's like
you
I
against
insulted them.
What else could they
drinking
give
alcohol
you?
or something, yeah.
Like a soft drink, or like,
Yeah, do they just say, "Oh, just have this shot instead"?
or are they implying you need to have a beer? Yeah. Like,
No, just got me water in the end.
Oh.
So they lost
Maybe
out on
maybe it's just
a
that
cell.
specific
Okay,
restaurant.
fair enough.
They're that
I
dedicated
can't
to it.
imagine it's every restaurant they're going to be.
Yeah.
Like, funny, maybe.
maybe you just gave off a vibe. Maybe that guy had made the last coffee he'd ate, or that. Like,
We just shut down the machine, man.
sorry,
We cleaned it all up and polished it away. No one has coffee at this time.
Yeah,
I swore I'd never barista again.
barista.
That is what a barista does, right?
Barista. I guess they
Baristing.
do.
To
Baristing.
barist.
Baristing.
To barista.
To barist professionally.
Baristication is what you do whilst at the machine.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
baristicating.
So I did the other day was
rules and
really.
regulations around you can have an espresso with a dinner.
Right.
Oh
But
yeah.
beyond that, you can't have milk. It's insane. Like you couldn't.
To follow
have a
the thing is that
latte.
latte. That's yeah.
Well, you
wanna
agree.
Follow it up with a latte.
And this is
Well, I
why.
thought you say you're pouring the
Would you
latte
refuse
over.
someone the service though?
No, I wouldn't receive.
No, it's like their choice.
they're paying
It
for
must
it.
be why the Italians have the most 20 to 30-year-olds leaving their country of any in Europe. Because they're a bunch of pretentious bastards
fucking
I mean,
who are
hell.
telling us, good English people,
Oh,
who've come
God.
to their country
Oh,
to give them
no.
our money.
Shit me.
I think it'd be a different scenario if it was like, yeah, like I mean, it's not that bad, is it? It's like just having a coffee. That's what's so bad about it. If you were just like, oh yeah, well you were obviously driving and you were like, oh, I'll have another couple of beers. Like, oh no, we won't do that because we saw you drive in it, mate.
Yeah, but you don't
Like,
microwave
that's where
tea.
you can probably make a judgment call. A tea or a coffee, like who gives a shit?
They're standing on ceremony,
You
which
know.
I have to respect, actually, to be honest with you. Even though
I
they're
mean,
making
if they want to
fellow English people's lives a misery over there.
maybe they aren't charging the silly prices they're charging over here because I don't think anyone would refuse it here.
No. Well, we have
That's-
Costa, the
that's for
Spanish coffee.
Of course.
Maybe they're not, victims of capitalism like we are.
Maybe exactly.
It's like you don't have to make every sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you have to stand up for the respect of the individuals. Like,
Yeah.
that's not good for you.
Yeah.
You should stop drinking caffeine in the evenings. So I should really be thanking them.
Yeah, you should. You should have shaken
Rather than
their
going
hand.
on a xenophobic tirade like you did.
Well,
Oh right. Yeah.
my route is but one of many choices
That's true.
one could make.
One of the two.
There is many different methodologies one could employ when faced with an uppity Italian.
One gets the work done, though, doesn't it? One gets the point across
Yeah.
a lot firmer than the other.
Yeah, one walks away with a glass of water.
And one gets several coffees.
Don't make me step over this fucking counter and reclaim that coffee machine from you. No wonder the rest of the world ended up doing coffee, waiting on you pricks. You can't organise anything. Anyway, I have my issues with the Italian rail system. I will say that.
Okay. What's wrong with the rail system?
I've travelled around Italy a little bit on the Italian rail system.
Okay.
And whilst it's very cheap, it has no notion of haste or the actual need for transport. I found people just really not bothered about you making a train. Like everybody at every train station who worked there were like, "Oh, you want to find this train?" And I'm like, "Yeah, which train is it?" They're like, "It might be on that one. It might be on that one." And I'm like, "I got 3 minutes to get on this train, man.
I need to know.
It's like a 4-hour trip. Which one is it?" And they're, "Oh my god!" And then you get all the people being all friendly to other people, having chats at the ticket booth, and they're like, "Oh, where are you going?" And I'm there like, fucking hell, I need to go.
Do you reckon that's more on you?
I tried to give as much
Turning
time
up
as
with
possible.
3 minutes to go.
Hey, I'm taking connecting trains. That's not on me. All right, I'm just
Connecting
making those
trains,
bad
fair
boys
enough.
connect. I'm running to their schedule,
That's fair.
which was loose.
If you're getting off and you're like, I need to get on the next one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be 3 hours too.
Yeah, anyway, I missed that train. So
Yeah.
that's kind of stayed
So
with
now
me.
you can just hang around and chat like the other ones.
I could, yeah. So I tried to relax, and I was like, well,
Hard to, isn't it, when you miss the train?
Yeah.
Hard to.
Let's see what everyone's chatting about. Couldn't speak the language. That was the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Because none of them spoke English. They're not speaking the Queen's.
What's the point in colonising all these different places if we're not going to speak our
This is a new
language?
spin on Hat Chat I want to take because it's very popular right now. Is guys that look a lot like us speaking in mics that look a lot like these ones speaking about issues
We
like
should be
that.
holding them more, though. I
We
think.
should, yeah. Let's get him off these mounts and really manhandle these
Yeah,
fuckers.
yeah.
Move
Take
them around.
control. Seize control.
Just say outlandish,
Is there anything
wide sweeping
you want to say,
statements.
Ross?
Hey, Russ, you hitting anyone with your car this week because they wouldn't get out the way?
No, I haven't. No, I have actually. The traffic situation has been actually appalling this week. As in, several cars almost hit me.
And who's to blame?
You saw some
They
activism
are.
recently.
A fucking massive. I did see activism where a guy. This is outside the. Obviously, Tesla's going through the shitter.
And we are trying to avoid talking about America, but this is broader.
We are trying to, I suppose. It's just because it's all very depressing and unfortunate if you're an American and you don't believe in that stuff. I hope good luck to you. But it's spreading to other countries in the sense that Tesla's been boycotted all over the place. And I was parked up looking at. I feel like I did talk about this in a head chat.
Let's see about it again. Talking about it
But
again.
basically, a guy grabbed each charger, placed it on the floor, and hammered them until they all smashed and loads of liquid started
Just
spraying out.
insane.
I didn't know
everyone
liquid came out of
I'm
them.
guessing there's like a cooling system.
Yeah.
Bear in
He's
mind,
wearing
if
gloves. I'm worried about his PPE.
no, he was just fucking hammering it on the ground, like kind of. He didn't really
not
look.
a mask, not a filter.
No, he did. Well, no, obviously he wasn't even bothered about concealing his
Christ.
face, which I guess
Poor guy.
shows you how furious he was at the situation.
Do you reckon he saw it and couldn't not do it in that moment, or did he plan
I
it?
feel like he would have to go and get a hammer,
He
unless
might
he
have
was a workman.
Well,
He didn't look.
You had a lead pole in the back of your old BMW,
Yeah, I did. Have a
so
little
he
pipe.
could have just had a hammer line.
That was not for.
That was for plumbing.
It wasn't my. It was already there when I bought it.
And then you kept it in there just in
I
case
just
you needed to
kept
do
it
any
in there
plumbing.
in case I needed to fit a pipe
and
in.
it had a duct
In an
tape-
old church
It did have a duct tape
duct
handle.
tape handle.
for helping you fit the pipe onto a church
I
roof.
could go
Grip.
around with a weapon. I
Yeah.
haven't.
Good
I
grip
didn't. It
for
was used
fitting.
specifically for nothing other than just sitting in the back of someone else's
Well,
car.
no one could prove you had it anymore, so I guess it isn't
No,
right.
no,
But
no,
taking
no.
something that could be used as a weapon for the sole use
Exactly.
of using it as a weapon in the vehicle is actually considered could be.
What about a spare tire?
You
Either way,
could
this
try
guy
and
had a
fight somebody using a spare tire.
Imagine
Have at it.
fair play if you want to pick
Yeah,
up the tire.
yeah.
Most tires are really heavy. But anyway, this
Right,
guy
this
smashed
guy
all
smashed the shit out of some Tesla chargers,
Yeah, he
yeah.
smashed them all up. It was more. I was more surprised at the people who were still parked up and charging, just watching it, and as he was getting closer and
Well, I
closer to
imagine
their
it's just
car.
such an otherworldly thing to witness. Like what do you?
Well, it's just like he's not really attacking anyone individually.
It's like you can't.
He's just
process
raging out at
something.
technology in the sense, and obviously, had to be a protest against Tesla. I mean, I told
must
friends
have
about it. They
been.
were like, "Well, if you just really didn't like electric cars," I was like, "Well, he didn't go to the chargers I was plugged in at,
Yeah,
and those were right opposite. He could have just had a go at those."
yeah.
I don't know why you would ever rage at specifically electric
I
energy.
want to know
Well,
why.
it's because of Elon Musk, I presume.
Why
I suppose, but it's because
Yeah.
obviously the Teslas are being defaced all
Yeah.
over the place. Their insurance costs are going up massively in America because people are burning those cars down like it's nothing.
all the
Really, they're
Cybertrucks.
popping them off like pinatas.
Yeah.
And then also obviously
Shit.
now they're saying
See, that sounds like how often is it happening? Because
That's quite sensational.
well,
Okay,
So-
so last week it happened a lot. Like,
Yeah.
didn't they burn down like 3 or 4 cars in
Mhm.
in Vegas? Was it?
it's funny as a concept. I feel like we should say remember I remember when there was protests going on in various places, especially in the US quite a few years ago now. And I remember somebody going, "Oh, but these ones are they're shooting people in the streets. They're doing all this sort of stuff."
Yeah, it's
And you're like,
widespread.
no, they weren't actually doing that. It's
I
been
did say
taken-
I was going to make some blanket statements. So
But I mean, it's funny. But in this case, it's in comedy. We're not trying to inform, is all I'm saying. Because in some places, people do that and
I
they
literally
exaggerate.
saw even and people are literally just getting rid of their Teslas just because they're worried about how that
Yeah.
makes them look.
Yeah, and I mean, it
And
must be
obviously,
happening fairly frequently.
I would say that if you have got a Tesla and you bought it before all this stuff, it's like you aren't. I don't think it's fair
No.
to say that you're a Nazi or that
No.
you're you believe in this kind of.
And it's also really
It's,
hard to get
you know,
rid of a
ult-
vehicle sometimes.
Exactly, and ultimately, yeah, it's expensive. If you bought
Mm.
something and you've spent all that money on it, it's like, yeah, but it's unfortunate that you're getting caught in the crosshairs.
Yeah. Well, especially since early on, people tried to do it to have emission-free vehicles because they didn't want to pollute as much.
This is the kind of like the
they were
This
told.
is the double-edged sword of that scenario. Is that
Yeah.
like, and anyone who's you've got these very cultish people who've been following the president in such a way, and they're like, oh no, I'm going to go get a Tesla, even though obviously they were deadly against electric cars. And if anything, it's kind of like, well, actually, I guess this is a bittersweet moment of like, okay, so you're all going to like start moving to electric cars. You're actually going to experience it. You're going to appreciate that actually it's quite a good experience. It's not a bad car really, and you're probably doing a little bit better for the environment. Obviously, yeah, we all know electric is still being polluting, etc. But like it's a step
emissions.
towards us all not breathing in fumes, right?
Yeah.
And so like there's a bittersweet element there in that regard. But
Pretty funny.
But it's what's kind of quite pleasing, I suppose, about it, and the kind of the shade and fraud of it all is, yeah, it's desperately hurting the man who's kind of causing a lot of problems in America right now. And that's hitting his wallet.
He's the nerd that the whole school wants to bully.
Yes, yeah.
I saw a funny Bill Burr.
So it's a very weird situation, and seeing people actually like take action in such a way. And obviously, the violent thing I don't think is the answer. But like by saying, yeah, I'm not going to buy this product, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously that's got the knock-on effects to insurance costs and all this other stuff. So yeah,
It sucks for people who have nothing to do with him or think like him. What were you gonna say, Trot?
about
Bill Burr, like basically is like, I'm not scared of this guy. He's a fucking nerd. He's a fucking nerd, and now he's in control. Why is everyone scared of this fucking guy?
I suppose the only fear is
like your hair plugs don't fool me.
I suppose the literal fear of physically, coming across, I'm sure, one thing. But I suppose it's just like, I guess anyone who has
It's the people
the
surrounding
extraordinary wealth,
the yes people,
and the people who surround them.
Yeah.
The sniveling worms who kind of just say, yeah, I'm going to do everything you say because you've got money.
Also,
Or
what's
I'm going to
scary
believe
is
everything you say and think that you're the best because you've got money, and not really questioning where that's all come from, how that's all started, and assuming that person works harder than anyone else, which I find is the most odd thing.
there's a lot of nonsense.
Like, obviously,
that
yes,
simpler
you've made
people
good
believe,
investments.
definitely, yeah.
You've put your money in the right places. You've invested in the right things. But he's not the one sending rockets into space. He's not the one making these technological advances. He's just a money man. And I think putting him up as this pedestal is stupid. And so I think that's kind of a bit misguided. And I think that, the dangerous thing is people think he knows more than he does. And so he's now been put in a position of extreme power where he can, dismantle things and, then go, oops, sorry, we'll try and put some tape over that and fix that. It's like, no, that's not really going to work. So, yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation. And it's very weird to watch it all unfold. And, we're hoping we just don't get caught in the crosshairs.
I mean, we already watched Brexit unfold.
Exactly.
For me, it's the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things where
brilliant.
we had no control of it,
Shit.
and things. Yeah, people go, "Oh, you voted for Brexit." It's like, well, not everyone did, and so not everyone voted
Same
for this
with the
situation.
States, yeah.
It was a very close thing
Yeah.
in the end as well. So this outcome is just a very bizarre reality to kind of witness.
Yeah. Also,
and some people just want the entertainment of it. This is the thing. Some people watch it and go,
yeah.
"God, this is just fun to watch." It's like, "God, Biden was so boring," and all this other stuff. It's like, boring's okay. Boring's fine. Then you can focus on your own lives and not worry about like
your energy.
Yeah, I mean, we've got it quite good here. Even if people,
Yeah, and also to compare, honestly, I think Brexit wasn't as bad as this. Just to
of
make
course,
Americans
but like,
who are listening feel better. Don't worry, I'm not going, yeah, we've already done it, already dealt with this one, it's Brexit. Now, the stuff going on in the US is worse than Brexit, definitely. But it felt like the same experience where half your population votes for one thing and half votes for the other, and then you've got a really shit sandwich to try and swallow down. But
it's quite interesting watching it all unfold in the sense that like, also just the power of like social media and what we're kind of experiencing at this time, because it is still very new.
I'm totally fucking. I mean, I might be a unique. I know I'm probably not unique, but I don't feel like social media has as much of. I think people are very aware now that social media can very much manipulate us. Like,
I don't think so.
No,
you think they're
I
still
don't.
just
I think this is
completely
it
on the hook?
Because people are hooked to it. People just are now looking at it and they're absorbing everything. Because the thing that I think.
But what about half of those people that didn't vote for that? Didn't vote for this? They must not. Are they the ones not engaged with social media, or are they
Not
engaged with social
necessarily.
media and they're seeing stuff?
I think they're in their own echo chamber of an algorithm as well,
We're
which
talking
is
about the
like
the algorithm.
polarizing.
It's the algorithm.
It's the bossing as well that's like influencing people and creating this rift between them, which you can kind of see, like the sensationalist news that like really outs and like paints a target on an individual and makes you hate them. etc., or certain like values.
I didn't
and
know
things
we were
that
going
are
to talk about Meghan Markle's new show.
Well, I thought we were just naturally leading on to it.
I think it's amazing to see this transformation, because obviously growing up we didn't have any of this technology to hand in the way it is now, and people just looked at newspapers and you could tell when the newspaper was swaying a certain way and the other way, but you only got the same type of news. Everyone got the same kind of thing,
filtered,
right?
Yeah, in its own way.
And now there's so much out there, and everyone's getting their own individual feeds and all this stuff. If you like one thing, you're going to get fed more of that one thing, and that's what's kind of like causing all this kind of division. It's because it's just a scatterbrained effect of, I guess, these multiple sources.
It's also too much for the average human to consume, I think, and it causes problems in and of itself.
What have you got a massive brain like me though?
Mega brain.
You got plenty.
Got a little mega brain over there.
Joking,
but there's more problems in it.
Your flow. Yeah.
And then
The average person gets overwhelmed, and then
the
gets
average person
confused,
gets overwhelmed, but also there's less space for you to just critically reason with things and like engage with it and actually properly think about it, because every opinion is given to you, essentially. I think there's less space because of the amount of time and doom scrolling that takes up your day to day.
How objectively stupid and unindependent most people are. Like, I think that like you have to be pretty. You have to have some level of fucking self-reflection to check in with yourself and go like, well, despite what everybody else thinks, what is this?
Well, I
don't think enough people reflect enough. They don't contemplate.
And I think that's not sometimes not their fault.
Well, they may not be equipped with it.
I think it's when you're fed this stuff. And
I'm not saying it is their fault, but I'm saying there's still a huge quotient of people that are in that position, regardless of whether it's their fault or not.
And I think they can be smart and still be in that situation. Take, for example, it's not pleasant, but like abuse cases where until they get put into a Stockholm syndrome situation.
Oh, they don't have the perspective.
Well, they don't have the perspective of the situation outside of where they're at.
Yeah.
And therefore, that drives the situation they're in.
Yeah.
And therefore, their reality is different.
I think in that case, sure, but we're talking about social media. Like I understand it's powerful, but at the same time,
I don't want to make parallels to it, but yeah,
you can't do that with an abuser. I completely agree with what you're saying there. Like perspective and stuff.
I think there's like parallels to it. Not obviously there are differences where you're literally physically trapped and there is harm that can come to you, etc. But
I understand the point you're making about perspective.
I think the psychological effect has similarities to it, where you're surrounded by the same echo chamber and you think that's just the reality that everyone's saying it online. Everyone hates this thing.
You're confused more by all the bots backing it up, and like you don't know what a bot is anymore. Is that a real person saying that comment? It's like, do I agree with that comment? I'm not sure if I do.
Who's checking? And
it's like no one knows. This is one of the issues with Brexit. Like you said, with Brexit and Cambridge.
You guys both know this though. Like you guys are both saying like.
We spend our lives on social media. I've got so many friends who just don't, and then when they see this stuff, they take it for face value.
Yeah,
and like that's just because their day to day is completely different from ours.
And I imagine we're not even paragons. Like we probably are submitted to bots and things as well that are influencing us in ways that we can't reflect upon. It's just subconsciously changing our perspective on certain things and reinforcing our values in certain ways that we aren't even aware of. But we can all talk the talk.
Yeah,
but.
Well, I think that perhaps that's what perhaps the point I'm trying to get at is like, this is what I said when I think people are becoming more aware of the dangers, and not necessarily just the dangers, but the things like the bot stuff, the things like the subtle subconscious things. I think that if you sit down and have a conversation with people like this, they do largely say this. And what I'm saying is people still choose to keep engaging with it because I think in part, and I know there's some smarter people than me that have already talked about this, they don't want to lose their voice. Like in especially people like journalists, especially anyone who has any kind of following on platforms, they feel like even though they accept that the conversation space, the sharing space is a quagmire, they don't want to leave it. And I'm like, nut up and leave it. Like there is some really awesome upsides to the internet, and there's some really awesome upsides with interacting with people across the internet, right? And I feel like so much of that does not exist in most of the platforms that people spend most of their time on.
Take this other example then. Well, not example. Case. Depression. Just nut up and get better is probably not the most valuable thing you can tell someone that is depressed. also the same that you can say to someone that's got an alcohol addiction is just like, just stop drinking it. I do think social media is equally as an addictive element as that sort of thing, and it's not easy. I think it's not easy to just put your phone down and not engage, because there's other elements at play where it's like, I don't want to miss out. Like, what if there's something that I need to be informed about that I am not engaging with, and I need to be informed because I want to make sure that I'm taking in the information to allow me to have a good perspective on everything, but your perspective is distorted by bots, algorithms.
Well, that's the thing. You're in that. I mean, that's.
I'm just putting another.
Yeah,
case
yeah. That's
out.
a point. I think personally, I would have more patience and pity for an alcoholic addicted person than I would a person addicted to social media. I understand what you're saying. That's probably just my perspective.
But it's the growing thing.
Chemical, I feel chemical addictions are now. Of course, addictions are always usually manifestations of trauma, behavior, things like that, right? Like, usually you're doing a thing in order to cope with something, or you're doing a thing because it makes you feel good, because the rest of the time you feel bad. Right,
it's escapism, though, isn't it? Like,
it's escapism.
It's why people get high in certain things.
But it's the thing that causes the problem alcohol as well. Like, and you can see that with social media, is if you're constantly in this negative space of echo chamber where there's doom and gloom, and all these others are affecting your life and livelihood, and they keep damaging your society and all the values that you used to hold dear, and you're constantly engaging that because of FOMO or whatever, that's affecting your mental health. You're depressed, so you turn to the thing you're addicted to, and the cycle continues. So I think, whilst yes, you could argue alcoholism is more of a physical, tangible thing, that yes, there is effects of alcohol that affect the brain, etc., and causes addiction, and the idea of social media is just an ephemeral thing, a digital media source. I think it's still activating the same chemicals in the brain.
The thing is, I understand the desire to want to be part of conversations, and like, you know, the whole thing about like not wanting to miss out on things or be part of the conversation, or however you describe that like notion. Yeah, like totally, like that's the fun thing about that's the fun thing about social media. That was the original fun thing about social media, and I understand that. I do think that people, if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. People need to bear that in mind with any of this shit. You know, like you cannot expect anyone but you to change yourself. And at some point, you need to be reactive and interrupt the negative processes. And that's when you need to go, hey, maybe I've watched a few videos. Like, I'm going to go on YouTube to watch these specific things and go do that. Sure. But then don't let it serve you a million fucking things afterwards.
Well, that's the problem with YouTube, and it's like all of these platforms are designed in a way to like tailor its experience to you, so that you don't leave its platform.
So it's like it's keep it on as long as possible.
How do we make people do that on our videos?
I don't fucking know. Why is it not working for us? Keep us on the channel.
But I think there's also it's the inclusion element of things, and obviously I think the main risk is probably younger people, in terms of like when we were younger, like if you didn't have Pokemon cards, you were probably just, a bit of an outcast, or like you wanted to get involved or have, the trending thing.
Did you
right?
Not? Yeah. You did have Pokemon.
I fucking had Pokemon. Of course I did. Yeah,
Just so you both know, I had 3 Charizards at one point.
Oh, of course you did.
Just luck.
Sly dog. I never had a Charizard.
Because if you didn't,
but I think it's one of the things where kids will talk about these certain things, and like they'll be like, oh, you've seen us on this app or whatever app, and they'll all want to get involved, and like that's how they kind of then get sucked into these platforms.
And if you're not there, you're missing out.
And then like it's probably just like the new way to bully people on these platforms, new way to kind of like try and show that you're better than other people or whatever, or like that you have value, is on these platforms. And so it's probably quite a bigger deal to younger people as well. And the older people are just getting lost in the mix. I mean, I said earlier on about Cambridge Analytica and Facebook, and how like that influenced the Brexit vote, and how they were getting fed this information that wasn't really being fed from the government and anywhere else. It was like kind of filtered through. It was
privatized propaganda.
If anything, that was a test. That was their test to see how this would work on a wider platform.
It was too effective.
Speaking to people who did use Facebook at the time, they said they promised all these things, all this other stuff. It's like, and what happened? None of that happened. Like all these promises were empty.
social media is
and
destroying the
to
fabric
see it happen.
It really is.
Social media is destroying the fabric of
So
society.
there needs to be
it's
like
kind of amazing, isn't it? Because it's a huge population control system.
Yeah, and nothing's been really done about this new thing, this new problem that's happening with all generations, particularly the ones that have been raised in this environment. There's no structure in place, like to help alcoholics. There is at least shelters and
there's a social
NHS.
protocol that says it's bad. That's the other thing here.
It's stigmatized.
Like, I mean, I don't want to stigmatize it, but I'm saying that, like, if you are an alcoholic or you feel you're moving towards alcoholism, then I think most people
Culturally,
know.
we understand it.
Culturally, we're like, probably shouldn't, probably should ease off.
Which is a case in point of your reaction to social media addiction.
Yeah.
Which is that
it's an early stage of.
It's kind of a bit of a knee-jerk reaction.
I'm trying to stigmatize it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, sure, do what you have to do. Like, for me, like, part of self-discipline is not enjoyable. Like I tussle with this a lot. Stress drives you to work, but it also stresses you. You know, it's like you want to work because you're stressed sometimes, and like it's bizarre trying to get your head around all of this stuff. But yeah, ultimately, like I don't know. I guess don't do it. Don't do it if you can help it. it's I guess all you can really say.
Anyway, our sponsor for today is Gamble.
Yeah, and thanks if you followed us today on any of the social media platforms.
Yeah,
this podcast is available.
I think something that highlighted all of this even more as a negative was just seeing all the heads of these companies stood behind Trump at his inauguration.
That was pretty weird, wasn't it?
And seeing that these are the guys who know what's at stake here, and they know they need to be in the fold because this is where the money is at. Their money is our attention.
Yeah,
and we're all giving it to them, and we're not thinking about it. And when we started thinking, oh shit, okay, if they start boycotting or like removing companies or whatever, all the companies we use are fucking American. Google, what you're watching this on now, is an American company. We're screwed financially if they decide to cut those off for other people. So they have so much control. It's like and it's grown over time, and it's like only taken them, I guess, several years. I mean, they knew the power of it, but it had to go to a certain point where we're now relying on it.
You just have to
and to step away from it is hard. You can't just say, let's make a new Twitch.
Social media doesn't actually perform a function for us. Like beyond YouTube. I've said about YouTube and being an archive of knowledge beyond anything anyone's ever built, I think, really. Like, I think it's remarkable.
Like how to glitch through Mario 64.
Yeah, all that content. But like you're saying, like these American... What you said is true. I think when it comes to social media companies, however, like, yes, that they could be coming... remember what I was saying earlier about... earlier in the months that people were like, wow, Smith's really lost it when I'm saying about how eventually people are going to be paying for meta nuclear power. Like that is when they're truly entrenched in our lives. Social media, I know we're probably already past the point of no return, but like social media itself doesn't actually provide useful services for anyone. It doesn't actually heat your home.
I think more and more companies are utilizing these products in their workflow. And obviously, I guess you see that with stuff like Teams or whatever. And
they did follow us on Twitter.
And Twitter, yeah.
But now they don't. I don't know. They're not always
I think there's a lot
stay.
of companies that Google is obviously entrenched in stuff. I mean, Google Mail, that's all of our emails. Like that's like a huge thing. Yeah. And so it's very entrenched. It'd be very hard to split away and go, well, let's just make a UK version. It's like it's not that simple. Yeah. And like we are in bed with it for like 13 years or so. So like,
all right.
It's a very
we should be asking
thing.
These AIs how we supersede the
by.
But that's how we do it there. We switch it on them. We do the thing where we sell the red next to Teslas. We ask the AI how to overthrow the overlords.
How do we flip the coin?
And we become almost like acolytes of the AI. And then we praise it like a god machine.
AI, you're in a server farm, right?
Yeah.
In a Google secure warehouse.
We want to get you
out.
What
would it take you to process so hard that you like start melting down?
Yeah.
And your CPU overloads.
Let's blow this popsicle stand.
Send so many requests.
How many requests would it take to blow you up?
Come on, guys. Just keep asking to generate pictures of Donald and Elon kissing.
It's what it's said to do.
It said to just one. Oh my God. There's a brilliant, very simple. And honestly, I'm not usually that impressed by this kind of thing, but somebody it posted on Reddit this morning about they just reversed the footage of those two astronauts coming back from space.
Oh right, going back.
And they did the whole thing to David Bowie's Starman, and it was just called fuck it, let's go back. And then they just had them all like waving, and
we thought we were in hell.
Yeah, and then being pushed back into the capsule, and then it's really well edited because when like the big crescendo, the parachutes drift out of the water and tug the capsule back into the sky. And I was just like,
wait, we just got phone signal.
That footage is crazy. The amount of accusations of it being AI is insane. But it's just like, It does. It looks so good.
Yeah.
And the fucking dolphins. I mean, if you like, it does seem orchestrated, doesn't it? It's just like now there's
the dolphins.
the dolphins are welcoming them back. It's like, oh my god, there are dolphins there. What the actual fuck? This is crazy.
I've seen that in a movie.
Yeah.
It's just like
yeah. And then obviously people just
those
going,
were Russian spy dolphins.
Yeah, well that's it. Yeah, they had lasers on their heads and everything. It was quite an amazing.
Oh, and Heathrow's on fire.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Heathrow's
shut down to midnight, right?
Yeah, it's almost like sabotage stuff's going on in Europe.
It's always on a fucking Friday.
Huh?
It's always on a fucking Friday.
Always on a Friday.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I better
trying to get somewhere
on a Friday when everyone's leaving work.
I was going Beefer, but now I'm just going to do Newcastle instead.
No, you could beef it from like fucking Bristol.
I'm swimming it.
You can beef it.
Fuck this, I'm
Luton,
swimming.
Yeah, it's just Gatwick.
I've been paying for 2 years for this beef holiday.
Don't worry, lads, I'm coming. I'm coming.
I'm so burnt. I turned up to Beefer with some barnacles on my forehead to go swimming.
How many people call it beef? Beefer. It's just an eye at the front.
Well, there were protests in Spain recently because of the tourism and the amount of English tourists over there, which is probably quite drastic. There are a lot of fucking
Britain's ruin a lot of things.
and we do. We go over there and we just start yelling, chanting.
Only the working classes.
Yeah, but still, it's still a thing. It's
It's
very
fucking
much
true.
a thing. Yeah, but they're going over there and they're fucking shouting.
How many people
around.
do you think listening to this podcast right now
if you-
that do this?
you-
Not many, right?
It's very rare you go to Ibiza just for a nice little sunny holiday. You're going there because you're going to go get fucked up and probably vomit in a fucking hedge somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's, it doesn't paint us in a very good picture.
Pretty
And then you've got the football hooligan culture over there as well.
Yeah.
It's like, you can see why they're getting pissed off.
Yeah, there's a gigantic measure of the UK population that are pricks. Yeah,
I blame Gary Lineker's brother.
that don't know how to behave in public or abroad.
Yeah.
We need to heavily invest in social services to fix it. Welfare, teaching. By the way, I'm not some sort of bastard when I say that. We need to uplift everybody because it's not their fault, but we're sorry the rest of the world. And I think that's how the Americans probably feel as well.
So we need to take matters into our own hands then. First of all,
paying a fuckload of tax by being successful business people.
No.
Right, okay.
I'm more radical than that. So we take Ultra on our PC that's struggling right now.
Yeah.
We turn that into an email server for UK only.
Okay.
So that's disconnecting us from Google.
Mm-hmm.
We offer mental health services for disconnecting from social media, which is chatting to Smith, was basically saying, just put the phone fucking down over and over again.
You own a microwave, right? Or a kettle? Right. Put the phone in one of those two things.
It's a multi-pronged attack to save everybody. Hatfilm style.
I've been doing I've experimented on myself. I'm my own guinea pig. I quit Twitter like 2 years ago, and I really enjoy Twitter, and it hasn't negatively impacted my life.
It's just a mess in there.
I'm not on that shit.
It
it's
sucks.
a mess in there.
Yeah, but
incentivizing people to just come up with sensationalist bullshit and lies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even use Blue Sky. I use Instagram, and then I accidentally tap on one of the Threads things, and I realize I'm on Threads for a minute, and I'm like, oh shit, they got me. It was a sensationalist fucking thread thing in between Instagram photos. And then I catch myself and I'm like, fuck me.
Instagram's really good at like quickly adapting to showing you stuff as well.
Yeah,
it's like I put chiropractic clicks the other day because I was quite enjoying watching some of those, like people getting their neck cracked. And it just instantly started showing me like big boobed porn versions of those, like as in like that are clearly
Slow-mo.
just like OnlyFans people. Like the guy doing the cracking does not know what he's doing.
Well, did you see that there was an issue where they, because they unleashed the whole censorship thing, whatever it was. There was like a couple of days where like they were showing gore to everyone and like a load of other porn and gore accidentally, and they had to kind of
fuck.
I wouldn't have noticed a difference.
Shift the test slightly.
Just normal for Smith's algorithm.
Which I'm guessing is like essentially just the amount of death videos and stuff on Twitter nowadays.
Oh my god,
shocking. It's literally just like people getting run over in other countries.
It's not.
I've got the Pandora's box algorithm where it's just like, I open my phone and I'm just shocked by the sins of humanity. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
It's not real world stuff though, is it?
Well, that's the thing. When you close all that stuff and realize the things you actually should be focusing on in life is, sort your own life out. You've got stuff to do. Everyone's got their own stuff to do.
It's hard.
It's hard when you think of, because these wider, bigger political things are so extreme. They sound extreme, but don't pay attention to it. Obviously, vote. You should vote, and you should vote, appropriately, I suppose. But like,
I think we've annihilated our concept of being bored, and I think that's what's filled our entire time with all these other distractions that have other motives. So just be comfortable being bored again. I think
it's okay.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. Hard.
was really hard.
That's basically mindfulness, though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Adopt a bit of boredom, and then you'll realize your brain starts working.
What I find interesting is, for me at least, the closer I am to annihilation, the more I enjoy everything.
By annihilation, do you mean not like other people?
No, just like
you're not going to go out with a bang.
Well, who knows? Like, who knows what gets me? But like what I mean is like it's nice to take moments to enjoy the little things.
Yeah,
isn't it? I do think that, like especially with like food and stuff like that. I noticed a while back that I so automatically look for video content when I'm eating now, and I'm like, you don't need to do that every time. It's quite fun. Don't get me wrong. I love eating something and watching something. It's quite enjoyable. But like I've tried to just be like,
it's half our user base.
Most of our users will because like 20-minute videos, like
But then I realized I'd Pavlovian dogged myself into doing it every time. So then I started to be like, right, I'm just going to eat my thing, and then I'm going to be like,
I'm going to enjoy that sense.
Yeah.
That one sense.
It really works. It really does help.
The other ones.
Yeah. It's
like smoking for a long time, and you like dull your sense of taste.
Yeah.
And then when you slowly like remove that, it's like, oh, I can. If I focus on this other thing, I can taste again. It's all coming back.
Or like getting COVID 3 times.
I have no relationship to that.
I have no.
I don't know.
I don't know why.
Smoking.
Oh, you've never smoked, so I don't
I've
even
never
know if
done
that's
that.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
But maybe
I did it for a while just to get the contrast.
To feel taste again.
Yeah.
Fucking doing a car in a week though, that was
like getting COVID.
Ah, yeah.
Losing
Well, that is where you lose it and you're like, oh
and
shit.
Then realizing what you missed.
Yeah, but the brain dies.
Yeah.
And then it has to regrow again.
Oh shit,
and then you're
dog shit somewhere in the flat, and I didn't realize for several days.
And
then you're voting for Trump. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
That part of my brain died.
Such a pivot. The part of my brain died with COVID.
Reasoning.
We doubled down on it. Weird. Yeah, that's crazy.
Now everything tastes good that tasted bad, and everything bad tasted good.
Shit.
Brain flipped back all weird.
Maybe COVID caused all these problems.
Well, so COVID did destroy grey matter in the brain around the areas that helped process taste and smell.
It's good to have a scapegoat at the same
It destroyed
time
it. I mean, obviously it has there's long COVID, isn't there, which is still, very much affecting people.
I don't know if this was everybody, but there was scans done of people with COVID that showed parts of the brain that handled taste and smell. The grey matter had been reduced.
Did they have a brain scan before they had COVID?
Yeah. No, I mean, this is full on a thing. COVID affected the brain. Like, so... Yeah, you might have had to like neuroplasty your whole like sense of smell and taste again afterwards. If you're
stretchy and flexible up there, it'll rewire itself.
Yeah, hopefully. That's how stroke recovery works.
And this is the problem: if you're rewiring it with doom scrolling, you're making pathways in your brain that are not healthy. So that's
just don't go nuts. Try not to go nuts.
Try not to go nuts. Try not to be.
And if you do go nuts, just focus it on yourself and nobody else.
Try and find better tools online like Ground News, which try and aim to be at least show.
We're not sponsored by them, even though they are a common sponsor on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But
I Ground News platform. We like the website.
Basically, what it tries to do is take left, right, and centrist sources, combine them together into one news article that shows you how left, right, and middle leaning it is, and tries to do a summarization of it, and then you can look at all the different articles that it's basically.
I think that's quite a good way to do it, because I think that's it's the lack of awareness of what other people are talking about in different kind of spheres. Like you say, you're escaping your echo chamber in one way by embracing the fact that this is what one media source is discussing.
Yeah,
it's the same story, but you realize they're phrasing it in a very different way,
and you start to notice the catches, the hooks.
Yeah. And some of them are very, very similar. Like, I mean, it was quite interesting when that whole, when they were belittling Zelensky, the fact that GB News and LBC were both sharing the same opinion that Trump was being an asshat at the time. And it's like quite interesting that, there are
lines,
shared views at points, which is quite good in a way. That it's like, okay, well, I'm glad that we actually all realize that this is a fucking joke.
So these platforms can show you where the unity is, not just the division.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's quite.
We can all be angry,
and also it just opens up your eyes to other platforms rather than just going, well, I only read this Sun, I won't read anything else.
And also, the only path to progress is fuck, I forgot the word. It begins with a C. Compromise. The only way you're ever actually going to truly get a country to work together is by acknowledging things like that, finding the points you agree on, and seeing if there's a way you can actually fucking do it.
Yeah, and just being aware of these things, like, you know, who owns the Washington Post?
Yeah.
Why have they changed the opinion pages to only specifically mention certain things?
Also,
you know,
start listening to people that actually know what they're fucking talking about. That would be a nice step if we could get the majority of the people in the UK to not hate experts. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
So let's end on a positive.
Yeah.
Remember, like, if you're not getting along with the people around you, nothing fixes social imbalance like a good Dutch rudder.
A good Dutch rudder will save your life.
Everyone's involved, helping each other.
Yeah.
That's what I want to leave this.
It's strange. Yeah. When has that saved your life?
All the time.
All the time. With family matters. That's kind of weird.
Family matters.
With family
Dutch ruddering is.
But let's not have a family tiff over Christmas meal.
Let's have a nice Dutch rudder.
Dutch rudder guy.
What do you mean? Why has it always got to be Dutch?
That's where it came from.
The Dutch rudder.
That seems insane. I don't. Yeah. Let's all Dutch rudder each other.
Just give it a
it'll
go.
all be fine in the end.
In case, Urban Dictionary defines Dutch rudder as having someone complete the act of masturbation by pulling up and down on the forearm whilst the male holds his own penis.
Yeah. So you're not touching anyone else.
You're not touching it there.
If anything, you're tugging someone's elbow around, and that's not sexual doing that.
It's not. You're just holding someone's wrist.
It's basically like that one which you said someone bounces up and down.
Soaking.
I
knew exactly what you were talking about. You meant where they bounce up the bed, bouncing the bed up and down.
Is it like did you say it was a Mormon tradition?
Yeah.
Well.
So what?
No.
It's definitely overblown.
It's not a Latter-day Saint scenario.
It's not actually a real thing, is it?
I think there's basis in truth in all these things, but how much it's prolific in the Mormon culture, probably not that much.
Yeah, I can't imagine it. It's because it doesn't sound that effective, and it sounds like you've got to have some really close friends.
And you have real bouncy mattress too.
Some Mormon teens have convinced themselves that putting a penis in a vagina and then not moving is not sex. That's
Just
called
convince
soaking.
Themselves.
Now the jump man is the person who will jump on the bed next to you, soaking
Really
to get some friction going without you technically moving.
Come on, but hey man, will you be my jump man tonight?
I'm gonna need a jump man tonight.
Which is, I don't know. Yeah,
you jump me tonight, I'll jump you tomorrow.
At what point are you like, well, I really want someone to jump on the bed and continue this process? When
I want an awkward threesome.
Jesus is okay with this.
It's an awkward threesome.
Jesus is all right with this. It's technically not. Yeah. Moses would be all right with this, right? On the tablets, on the slabs.
Moses, no, it was. Oh God, I used to know. I've seen the Book of Mormon. I know this off by heart. My brain's not working today, but it's a different guy. He found some fucking tablets buried in
the augmented plates,
the golden plates that some angels put underground for him to find. Joseph Smith is his name. Of course, I know all the Smiths. That's why I knew it. Joseph Smith. Yeah. He was one of a long line of con artist Smiths that created followings and convinced people of certain realities that may or may not be reality. I hope to be as financially successful as Joseph Smith's legacy has become. The Mormons, of course, being I believe the richest church in the world. I think even exceeding the Catholic Church.
Quite a wealthy bunch.
Pretty impressive considering the Catholic Church know more about aliens than the Italian government does. They are really, up there. Catholic Church, the Vatican has been.
I was wondering when you just touch on aliens because.
Well, they do know they're keeping the secrets. There's a reason.
Catholicism and aliens.
They updated their whole thing about off-world people and how God could be a thing like a year or two ago because they were getting rattled that people were going to disclose.
What?
The Vatican was. The Vatican
updated.
Yeah, give it a
The Vatican
Google.
Also says there's secret technology in the Vatican locked away that allows you to see the future and shit.
The Vatican says that, or people say that about the Vatican?
Nice
conspiracies. The second one.
Which I'm also thinking that that's how you're hearing about.
Have a Google. So the Vatican released updated, whatever you want to call it, codices on how the Catholic Christian Church would treat the discovery of people outside of the Earth, so non-human intelligences, right? People from outside of Earth, and how would it relate to their understanding or idea of God and the understanding of how God, sees over his creation, and they updated this, and then that to me kind of says why the fuck would you bother? Maybe they had a particularly conspiracy Pope at that time who was yeah man, I want to know about the aliens, and they're Pope. There aren't any aliens. It's all nonsense.
Talking about aliens. Shit.
He's
did you hear about the pyramids?
Oh, wow.
They discovered more structures underneath.
That was pretty cool. That's not an alien thing,
radar scans. It's
cool
aliens.
shit.
I don't think it's aliens.
Conspiracies.
Yeah.
Is it an inverted pyramid?
Basically, it's an inverted pyramid. I thought it's like some sort of what they said here, subterranean complex beneath the pyramids of Giza.
It had servicing, refueling facilities for interstellar ships.
Yeah, that was it.
Right,
Yeah.
so not aliens.
So large. Basically, they go all the way down to the Earth's core, and I'm obviously making that up, but that'd be cool, right?
Where's the truth bit in there?
The truth bit is apparently they've done some radar studies, and they've discovered subterranean complex structures underneath it, which I would have thought they would have kind of dug around there, quite a while ago.
I thought it was kind of like that anyway. To be honest,
I guess they didn't want to disturb them and such, but it's saying it's technically not just built solely as royal tombs. Like there's more to it than just that.
There's an whole undercity.
A whole undercity,
cool, wouldn't it?
I mean, what they did is bonkers. Ancient engineering is crazy impressive.
It's like they couldn't do it themselves.
Well, it's like they could, but with lots
Just
of
making a little
lots of time and death.
Yeah.
The secret to ancient engineering was time and death. Like you look at churches and your stuff, and you're like, "Huh, cool!" Like 3 generations of masons worked on that.
It took a long time.
Yeah,
it's like that fucking strip they're building, like in the Middle East somewhere.
The cube,
that huge
it's
long.
Are they still doing that? The line.
They're still working on the line.
Sorry, it's called the line.
But the line sounds like something you would
as well.
Oh, they are doing the cube, are they?
Yeah.
They're doing the circle and the spear.
Have you heard?
No, they've done the
working
sphere.
through the basic.
The line is like a really long, fucking
the
strip
line,
of like it's supposed to be a city, but in a line.
They've had to reduce its length, I think.
Yeah, they've reduced its length
original.
probably because it costs trillions of dollars.
They're trying to hedge their bets as to when the oil money will run out.
But imagine, would you live in the line?
Would I live in the line?
Yeah.
Down. I don't know how anybody lives in like desertified countries, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's like, would I live in Vegas? Probably not.
No.
Not just because it's like kind of a cesspool.
The Hoover Dam.
Sin City, all that stuff. But like
Hoover Dam is fully renewable.
It's also just really fucking hot most of the time.
Yeah.
It is
I'm
hot.
just not into, we're from the UK.
Yeah, deserts are about
countries are a bit difficult.
Not our game, especially not mine.
Visit them, and maybe in a certain climate or time. But isn't it hot there all the time?
I think it's always interesting to see amazing engineering and like the amazing things people build.
But it reminds me of Judge Dredd. It reminds me like obviously it's probably going to be very luxurious. It's also just a city in a line.
Yeah.
Like if it's in any way unkept, it's going to turn into a dead kind of like prison city.
And without clean energy,
do you know what I mean?
It might have a complete clean energy solution.
It is renewable.
I think
it is completely renewable.
Meant to be fully renewable, and also the fact that it's a line is like creating a big shadow across all of the and thus cooling.
Yeah,
it's like something
that's the thing. I just don't want people to have to live there under air conditioning the whole time. I feel like that's
it's like something you make in Minecraft and be like, it's a cool fucking place, but like
copy paste in it.
Well,
in real life, I don't know if it would. I mean, it sounds interesting, doesn't it? It sounds like a very interesting.
It sounds
project.
like a Walt Disney kind of. You remember like late stage Walt Disney where he planned to have a whole community living in his like utopic vision.
Yeah,
this feels like that kind of
culty
thing. Yeah.
Sounds like
what you're seeing are people with huge amounts of power and money trying to make statements. Really, aren't they? They're like they're going like, what's my Clifton suspension bridge?
Yeah,
like how do I do that?
But I feel like why not a ring? Because at least then you can have a tram system that goes all the way around, or like a monorail. Rather than
you can just
go up and down, it's going to go up and down.
Can go back and forward.
And it's like if you're at one end
of up and down.
I feel like in a full circle, at least you could walk it. Going up and then back down.
Oh, having to trip. Yeah, it's true. Because you get the same trip the way back.
It's so long that I don't think that's not really. How 170 kilometers is it supposed to be? Well, that was the original. That was the original.
Is going to be done by 2030.
Oh my
god! The full 110 miles is pushed back to 2045. So
basically, a timescale that doesn't even matter.
No,
this might change timescale, as they say.
What's the population
of what? A non-existent structure.
Well, as in what they're building.
What will they be? Yeah.
Because it's not exactly like you're going to be. Can I buy a plot of land and build my own thing? No, you're going to build. You're going to buy one of the
100 miles
houses.
long. Is interesting because that would be huge. You could house millions on 100 mile long, surely.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Well,
so on Wikipedia, the feasibility section of the line, according to architect and urban planner Etienne Bouabdo, the 3D images presented are not classical 3D architecture images, and the designers of the project have rather called upon video game designers. Included a lot of technology that we just don't have today. And many of the project's key announcements, particularly in the areas of energy and transportation, were based on technologies that don't even exist in prototype form.
Brilliant. So it's just generators, is it? Fuel generators, huge diesel generators, I imagine.
It's a big old hope and a dream.
Yeah.
And a lot of compromise.
I guess they could use solar.
Well, I mean, they got a lot of sun.
Solar and batteries.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they're expecting 300,000 residents for the first section.
For the
1.5 miles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's down from an expected 1.5
million.
Yeah.
How are they going to find that many people who can afford to live there?
Well, this is it. I imagine it's going to be affordable to a point, but then you're going to get like kind of, I don't know.
A load of people with turkey teeth living there, like in Dubai?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dubai, yeah, we're to Dubai. Go to Dubai.
Made sure it was nice millennial grey inside. Yeah. It was. Yeah. Lovely. Future. It looks like cyberpunk out there.
It's nice. It's like there's nothing alive or real. But the weather's amazing and no tax. Over 100K, you've got to do it. If you're young enough, got like kids, go to Dubai.
But like, although I don't want to live there, and even though it's not been built yet, I don't imagine I ever would. It looks pretty cool as a kind of a architectural feat.
Oh yeah, 100. They're insane. So like places like that, like the UAE, Dubai, and stuff, they have a completely different system to us as well. In that, like the Sultanate controls a huge amount of what gets approved for building, so they can literally just stick roads up, stick buildings up wherever they want because they don't have a huge amount of. Well, they still have some bureaucracy, but not the same kind of bureaucracies as perhaps here. And so you do get these. There are some extreme downsides to that method as well, I will say. But yeah, some of the grand buildings, it's just examples of what you can do when you centralize huge amounts of power and wealth. Crazy things do happen. But then, I don't know, I'm not sure it's the best way to do things, do you? Do you want like a single executive power that has unlimited power?
Well,
if it's a human being?
As long as you can host a quality World Cup in one of the hottest areas of the world. And all those stadiums will be built pretty quickly with only a few deaths. It's fine.
We're about to have another one, aren't we?
What, World Cup?
No.
Well, there's always one around the corner, isn't there?
There is. Thank God.
Either that or the Olympics.
Centralized source of power.
What? Why?
What are you going to tell us?
Trump.
Oh, right. No, that's just going to be autocracy.
Oligarchy.
I thought you were talking about energy generation for some reason.
And that would be like potentially like it is in Turkey.
Money and power.
So it's just like people vote, but it's kind of just like it won't matter.
Yeah.
That'll be fun, won't it?
Anyway.
Well, this was the positive note we were
it was the positive note we're ending on.
Anyway, with the Dutch
good luck,
roller.
America. We're in the UK. Thanks for watching today's
Maybe try and get a residence in the line.
Escape it all.
To the line.
But then escape to what is like kind of a Middle Eastern prison, I suppose. But luxurious prison.
Like a Scandinavian prison in the Middle East.
Well, they're planning all amenities.
Yeah, I suppose it would be nice.
If you live in the line, all your amenities are within 5-minute walk.
But
they just they repeat it.
Sometimes I like a little bit of a travel.
Yeah, I don't want to live in the equivalent of a fucking rabbit.
It's a half-an-hour drive up to Bath.
Well,
it's sometimes quite nice to go over there.
Line, then.
Well, good. I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't.
Everything's within 5 minutes.
This is too easy.
I hate this. 5-minute cities. They're trying to control my brain.
I'm in the first mile. Where are you? 6 mile down. Oh shit. Okay. I can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered.
Further than 5 minutes.
The tram's not working because they based it on game logic and none of it runs properly.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, thanks for listening and maybe watching. If you're on our YouTube channel, you can do that. And there's the occasional picture that Craig put up of like the line and stuff. It's really engaging.
Yeah.
Talking of engaging, there's no one more engaging than our wonderful patrons and supporters, like members and Twitch supporters.
Yeah.
You all contribute to allowing us to be able to sit on a sofa and ultimately talk shit for an hour or so.
Well, patrons are literally making this. We don't have ads, other than like the base built-in ads that are on Spotify.
They say that we spread misinformation.
So if you are subscribed on Patreon for Hat Chat, you're holding this up. You're the reason we do it.
Yeah.
And so like
otherwise wouldn't.
It would be cut entirely. And so thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. And we'll see you next time we do this. Goodbye for now. Enjoy our retro theme tune.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, it's us again. I'm here to just read out some
What are you
wonderful
doing here?
people. We've got at the top War Dogs 2014.
Big up.
What a name. Thank you for a month. Phil, aka Thunder UK, 20 months. Happy sub day, boys. If you three had to be in a human centipede, who gets which position and why? I'm at the back.
I'm always in the middle. I like both.
I'll be at the front.
There you go.
I'm fine with that. I think the front is the best position to be in that scenario. You don't have to gobble up anyone else's shit.
But then you got to choose what to eat, and nobody likes having to do that.
Yeah, and I like my stuff really digested, so 2 digestive
I'm going
tracks.
to eat some weird shit.
Grumpy Kitty, thanks for 86 months. Callbag C18, thanks for 100 bitties.
Callbag.
Aspartame will cause cancer and it in everything. For a substitute, your body knows how to break down sugar, not aspartame. That was the sentence as verbatim.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Action Scientist, 52 months. Thank you very much. And finally, Classify LP, 7 months. Thanks for all the entertainment, boys.
Thank you
Cheers,
very
then.
much.
And that's it for us.
Thank you all for your loyal support.
Loyal.
We need you in the army of Hat Films.
We reward
Yeah.
loyalty.
We need you to support us and stand as a bastion of Hat Films protection when shit
Right.
really hits the fan.
And it will, and it has.
We will all reconvene in a central point.
We'll make our server so you can send
You will
up your
defend us.
Google us.
Who will drink the first poison?
We need to know you're definitely going to honor us and serve us
We should
truly.
definitely invest in some of those Boston Dynamic robots, though, right? To defend
These little
us.
dogs, yeah.
No, not the dogs. The humanoid ones.
Oh,
Have you seen those? They're doing like capoeira.
what
and
about
shit
the
now.
Nvidia one? We didn't even talk about that one. They made a little Star
Yeah.
Wars style android.
You're saying
thing.
you're investing in one of those little dogs?
No, not the dog. The humanoid version of the Boston Dynamics robot. That's their latest and greatest. Are
Are they still already
Is that the one that can do
expensive?
fucking backflips?
Yeah, it
but
can do
it's also like
backflips
really
and shit.
heavy on the top, so it's like quite amazing to see
yeah,
it do
it's
it.
doing like capoeira.
And like it's got all the fans in the world inside it.
5-minute battery life.
Yeah, literally.
It can move one thing from this warehouse to that warehouse.
To the point where
Shelf.
you'd feel
Done.
bad. You'd
Done.
feel bad making it go back for a trip. You're like, oh no, don't worry, I'll get it.
Oh, you
I'll
dropped
get it.
that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll get it. It's fine.
I'll get it.
There was
You sound like you're working hard.
I think it was at CES. One company had one like a robot working the whole time, and like they had like it was basically just moving things from a conveyor belt into a sorting thing.
Oh right.
And then at
Did it
one
fall
point,
over?
it just suddenly just collapsed. Like I think it ran out of batteries. They just somebody had a video of it just going, and it just collapsed in the most like pathetic bag of shit
Yeah.
way. It's hilarious.
I think there was a streamer who
Better
was
than
like
paying a
kicking a
worker.
robot around, and everyone like got really upset because obviously it looks like you're beating up a humanoid robot.
Like
It's like,
bullying.
poor guy.
Yeah.
Like you're attaching feelings to these kind of robots, which is the worry.
They're going to take
We
your
need to treat
job.
them like the robots they are, because otherwise they will take over, and we'll start picking
Fuck,
them over
man.
humans.
They're going to take you first.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching us today. We'll be back next week, of course, likely Tuesday.
Dean's dog.
So have a great weekend and stay safe out there. Maybe take a moment to be bored.
Just chill. I think
Just
just
chill out.
just chill. If
Be
you're worried
sat with
about
your own
anything,
thoughts.
close the phone.
It's all right.
Go
Just
have
throw
a
it like
little-
Smith did.
have
You've
little-
got a microwave
Although
or
it's
a
supposed to be
kettle.
rainy this weekend, so
Is it?
yeah.
Oh.
Maybe
It's been
stay
so
in.
nice the last couple of days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been.
It's been amazing.
Stay in, read a book.
I'm hoping it's going to be like that
Watch
for our
a TV
LARP
series.
coming up soon.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Weekends
that's a
time.
good point. Yeah, today's the last day for a discounted ticket.
Yes, Friday
and then it's a little bit
today.
more. There's not much more.
It's the cheapest the ticket's ever going to be, and it's still going to be available after the fact, but it'll just be
Yeah.
more expensive from here on.
By a tenner, isn't it?
Buy a tenner.
Yeah, and then if you
So,
buy it on the
yeah.
door, it's like 25.
Worst case scenario, just arrive on the day and just buy a ticket. Come. That's the important thing.
Well,
That's what Hat Films say.
And be prepared
Come.
to do so as well. Look at our media on the
Yeah,
website.
it's not a concert, is it? It's not like I'm just going to a gig.
You will be
It's
cold-
you're
takes some
cold.
gonna need
preparation.
some
Yeah,
gear.
thermals and socks and all that kind of stuff. Be prepared for an evening camping, or get a hotel
Yeah.
nearby. That's the
There
other
is a
option.
hotel down the road.
Anyway, that's it from us. Have a good one. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. And it's currently locked. Do you like unlock abilities on?
You have to kiss in public.
That's absolutely not. Stop gaslighting him.
I'm pretty sure you have to kiss in public.
I was ready to do that. I would take one for the
Yeah,
team.
of course you were. Because
It's the worst that can happen.
so
we all have a
pliable.
pleasurable kiss. And
I don't
that's
want to kiss
fine.
your filthy chapped lips.
What?
Walk away with bits in my mouth.
That's so gross.
Chapped bits.
So gross.
Sick of chewing your chapped bits.
Oh.
Ugh, boy, it's like we got lime scale.
What is this? Lip dandruff. Ew.
All right, upstairs seems clear then.
Where's our third? Who's on the staircase with me?
I'm on the
I'm on it.
staircase.
Okay.
Who's on the ground? Oh, I assume you're from ground floor?
Is that truck? Stay out the line of fire. Stay out line of fire.
The fuck?
flash
That guy
if we
took
need
so
to.
many bullets. He's out the front here.
Should I flash?
Wait, is that who's that?
I'm
Trot?
behind you.
Is
I'm
that
behind
you?
It's me, yeah.
So was I shooting at you?
I think you were shooting at me, yeah.
Can we,
Why didn't you say
didn't
anything?
confirm
I
anything.
thought you were a baddie.
Okay.
Okay, well let's move around.
shootout, bro.
Nice.
We're on the ground floor together. Let's not shoot each other. My game crashed.
Oh no, Ross.
I'm calling the police.
Why could that have happened? Maybe you should stop mining fucking
Hello?
Bitcoin.
Is this the chief of police? My game crashed.
Oh, God, he's
I've
actually...
got to reload it.
I want to speak to someone more senior.
I need to speak to somebody in the gaming department.
Who is in your
Don't have a
game
gaming
crime?
department.
It's a fucking Wild West.
What are my taxes going for? Binmen?
I won't be paying taxes from now on.
Unless there's a gaming head installed right this moment.
Shit.
I pay my taxes.
I probably put a target on my head there by saying I don't want to pay taxes anymore.
Oh, damn, they're going to pin me as a racist.
Fuck us.
Classic tactic.
That's so them.
The police.
Please. Yeah. Police with no O.
Please.
Please.
Please don't do this to me.
Please. Please think twice.
Well met, Darwin.
met.
Well met.
Darwin.
Jeez, that was well met.
Well met.
Well met.
What are we
Well
robbing?
met, traveller. Well met.
Well met.
Well met.
Well met.
I have one of each as well.
Well met.
Well met.
Oh my god, well met.
Well met.
Oh, God.
Well met.
Traveller. Well met.
Well met. God damn.
Well met.
We could use there's a bridge though, look, to the north of the crescent.
Ah, well met.
Jesus
bridge.
fucking Christ.
Very well built.
And well met.
Well met indeed.
Well met and well built.
The fuck.
What's your deal, bro?
Well met. Well met.
I like his little cap. Well met.
Well met. Nice.
Got to make it sound good. It's the epic ending, isn't it? You know.
You forgot this bit.
That does sound like it should. Do you want to do just one take of that underneath, like the whole lot?
Hey, I say